I grew up in a little farming community in southern Minnesota. I mentioned at the beginning of the show here just my dad's battle with alcoholism, and 5 of my siblings were already out of the house, the older ones. My brothers had kind of drifted from the faith. My oldest sister calls home and says, "You guys, I'm bringing the kids home this weekend. I got to tell you something really important. Make sure you're there." And we're sitting at the dining room table, and she goes, "You guys, I belong to this Bible study prayer group. We take time at the end to pray for people's needs. And for the last number of months, we've been including Dad in that prayer." Well, last Wednesday, she said, when we got done, one of the guys, local farmer from the prayer group, came up and said, "Hey, Kathy, I got to tell you something. The Lord's heard your prayer. He's going to heal your dad." Wow. And she goes, "Then I went to my car in the parking lot. Another guy said it to me." I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute. 2 farmers in northern Minnesota heard God? One of my jobs was the last boy home is when my dad was out drinking, is to wait up for him. And he comes in late at night, and I'm sitting there at the table doing homework, and he sat down next to me, and I could hear him breathing. I could smell the booze on him. Suddenly he just said, "Peter." And I didn't want to look up at him because I knew we'd start to argue. And then he reached out and grabbed my arm, and he kind of squeezed my arm with his hand. He said, "Son, look at me." And I looked up at him, and he started crying. I never saw my dad shed a tear my whole life. He said, "Son, I'm a sick man. I need help." 4 weeks later, he stood up and said, "I'm Joe Herbeck. I can't live without Jesus Christ, the center of my life." Sober for the next 20 years.